Okay, guys. So a very good morning to all of you. I once again I welcome you all on the first class or first lecture of the fundamentals of manufacturing processes MEC 005, which is an open elective at the university level. And in this lecture, we are going to discuss about the introduction to the subject that what is the content of the subject, that is fundamental of manufacturing processes, and we'll also try to discuss some of the topics or concept we can say from the unit 1. Okay, so either if there will be a sufficient time, then we will cover this complete unit, or if some topics will be remaining, so you can consider, for that you can consider it as a part 1. Okay, so if anything will be remaining, that we will discuss into the next lecture. Okay, guys, so I will tell you at the end that whether it is completed or not. Okay, so let's start. So first of all, we are going to discuss about the content part. By the way, I have already sent you the syllabus, the screenshot of that syllabus into Google Classroom. But in that, basically, it's like just lecture. It's just syllabus. So who cares, basically? So that's why I just want to brief you that what is the content part, and what we are going to discuss, how much time it will be take. Okay, so that you will get an idea about that. Next is in that. Basically this like the syllabus that I have sent you. If you will see the syllabus of this fundamental manufacturing processes, the second unit and the fourth unit syllabus is same. Basically, second unit is related with the casting, and fourth unit is related with the machining. So that is machining processes syllabus is added into there in the casting process. So that's why I just want to brief you that that is not a same. Casting is different, machining is different. Okay, guys, so first let's start. So first is we are going to discuss about the introduction to the manufacturing processes. By the way, here you can also add on behalf of the processes, that is technology, that is manufacturing technology. Now manufacturing, if we talk about the manufacturing technology, then that is divided into manufacturing processes, machining processes, and the additive manufacturing processes or advanced manufacturing processes. So if we are talking about the machining processes or the manufacturing processes or manufacturing technology, then there are different types of the manufacturing processes which we can use, and we can generate some output. Okay, there will be some output at the end. We can use the raw material, and we are applying these machining processes, and there will be a output. Now how this what we are going to discuss into that introduction to the manufacturing processes. First we will start that with what is the need of manufacturing. Why we are going to study. Basically, I proposed this course into 2018, and when there was a board of study, but till now it was not floated. Reason is, a lot of reasons are there because of the COVID, and because of one time I was floated, but only two students were there. So that was if there are less than 10 students, then we just have to we cannot continue that. We have to continue that. So that's why it was not. This is the first time which is 21 student has registered. So I just proposed this syllabus when I was working on the syllabus part of this subject. That time I was just prepared this syllabus content as per the whatever the resources which is available to us in the central workshop. Reason is like, I just want that the student should aware about what is the manufacturing processes are there, through which we can go for a machining or the manufacturing. Like if I'm talking about the casting, then we have the furnaces. Okay, so how you can use these furnaces, which is like, one is diesel furnace, and other is like a stair casting machine which is electrical. So that is also like heating diesel furnace, which is heating up to the 1200 degrees centigrade, or I think 1100 degrees centigrade. Another one is basically heating up to 900 or 1000 degrees centigrade, so that aluminum can be melted very easily. So that I was just thinking, whenever we will propose, the student will come into this subject, they will get an idea. I will just teach them according to the practical requirements. So that, like, first I discuss that casting. Okay, I will discuss it after, once let me finish the content part, then I will discuss this one. So first is introduction to the manufacturing process. So what is the need to study the manufacturing processes? Okay, so that that is the part, that is the content of this manufacture first unit. Apart from this, like what are the different manufacturing processes are there, or manufacturing technologies are there, through which basically we can use that one, and we can convert the raw material into the required shape and size. Okay, so that is our purpose, to study the machining processes or the manufacturing processes. Now how they are different, that we will discuss in the first unit. Okay, means in the second slide. Next is the costing. Costing is casting is like we are like simply, if I am talking about the casting, then casting is like we are just melting the material. Okay, like for an example, I want to create some this kind of shape. Okay, so this is like a rubber. Okay, and rubber, like initially what the rubber is, that is available, that is a kind of plastic. Okay, so that is available in random any shape. Okay, so what we are doing is we are just melting. This is eraser. Okay, that is made up of the material which is a rubber. Okay, so how we can give this rectangle shape? This cross sectional area will be like that, this cross sectional area will be like this. So how we can give this rectangle shape? So for that, what we are doing is, by the way, material is already available, but that is in random in shape. So for that, what we are doing, we are just melting this rubber up to the whatever the melting point it has, and then we have a small kind of boxes, and we will discuss that boxes and what we are calling. So we have a different kind of boxes, or all in other terms we are saying it as a mold. So we are filling this liquid material into that mold. Okay, and once it will be solidified or it will become solid, we are just taking out, and finally we are getting this required shape and size. How this required shape and size is created? Because whatever the mold that we are taking, okay, that the container that we are taking, that is already uh, manufactured as per the requirement, that what size of this eraser you are needed. Okay, so that number of molding patterns are available, so in which we are filling this rubber molded material, and after the solidify or the solid, it will become solid, we are just taking it out and there will be a final product. So this is basically the casting. Now what the elements that we are going to study in that? So we will study that what are the basic terminology. What are the basic terminology, okay, of casting or equipments, casting equipments. Okay, that we will discuss. Then we will discuss about the casting properties, means scent properties that we are using into that scent properties. Okay, apart from that, there are different types of whenever we are filling this molten material into a specific container or mold, as I said. Okay, so how this material will be come out, means how you will take it that out, means if there is a container in which you have filled the molten material, and once it will be solidified, you are taking it out, but like I'm just, मैं उसको just उल्टा कर दे रहा हूँ, then I'm just putting the hammer on that opposite side to that. Okay, so that through which either this is a process through which basically we can take it out. Another another is we can just put the hammer on the side wall, and then we can just make it opposite, like ulta kar dete hain, then it will, this material will come out. What happen if we are hammering it and it is not coming out? So what are the other possible ways? So through which for which basically we are providing the allowances, so that we will discuss. Okay, apart from that, there are when we will discuss about the casting terminology, there is a main important term is like the gate. Okay, the gate through which the molten material is entered into the mold cavity. So this is through which gate. So what types of the gates are available? Types of the gates, and these types of the gates are classified as per what material we are taking, whether it's like ferrous material or non-ferrous material, that we will going to study in that. Okay, so this is by the way guys, there are lot of things apart from this, what I have discussed with you guys, but I am not going into detail. Okay, I'm just briefing you that every one of you should be aware about the basic terminology of manufacturing, because like you are not a complete you are not a mechanical engineer, so I teach you that okay, and you have to study for the specific some competitive examination gate or engineering services, so that I should focus into some specific formulas into that. So that I'm not going to study. I will just teach you the basic things. Okay, so this is the things that we are going to study. Next is the welding processes. So let me first finish this. Okay, so next is the welding processes. So there are welding processes. We can also say like it is a joining processes. It's a joining processes. Means initially we have the two plates. These are the two plates. For example, these are the two plates, and if we want to join it, okay. So if we want to join it, we can just either uh, there are a lot of things. Okay, either we can just put the rivets over here. Okay, so that will basically a partial kind of like rivets can be removed anytime. So we are not that's not a permanent solution. So what we are doing is, here if we are talking about the welding processes, then it is a permanent process, permanent joint. Okay, so that's why these are the two plates. Okay, and we are like we have a electrode. Okay, that electrode is, if we are here, I'm just discussing about the consumable electrode only. So if we are taking this welding in this direction, so this material, which is electrode material, as well as the material of the metals, which plates we are taking. So when the power supply is on, this material is start going to melt it. This electrode is also melt. This material which is in contact this with this arc, that is also melt. So this material is start melting, and the material of this electrode is start depositing over this surface. Now as it is start melting or depositing, we should move in this direction. Fine. As I said that I'm talking about here the consumable electrode, so it means that as you are moving in this direction, this material is going to be consumed, and it will become at the end like this only. Means up to this much length only will be remaining. Are you getting my point, guys? Because this is a consumable electrode. Consumable means when the arc is generated, this material is melted, and as we are moving toward this side, this is going to be deposited over these plates. Now, when you will see, this is a one plate. This is another one. Okay, so these are the two plates. I'm just keeping at this section. Okay, now when you will going to weld, we are keeping this electrode over here, like for an example like this. Okay, so when we are keeping like this, you will start the power supply. There will be arc generation. How this arc is generated, that we will discuss into that welding in detail. The arc is generated, and is this is a consumable electrode, so it is start melting. Now if you want to maintain this arc between the workpiece and the electrode, then you have to make a constant gap between the workpiece and the tool or the electrode, we can say. So to maintain this constant gap, you have to give it feed in this direction. मतलब हमें क्या करना पड़ता है, like initially I am keeping this, holding this, this is the electrode, and I am holding this holder like this. So what I have to do is I have to like this, and as I am moving in this direction, this material going to be deposited, and it should move like this. Okay, please keep in mind, like see this side, it is going to be move like this. Means whatever the material which is going here below my hand, that is, it means that is deposited. Okay, so this material is deposited, and it start depositing. It means that gap between the electrode and workpiece is increases. Okay, because that is melted. So you, to maintain the constant gap, we are giving a feed this tool electrode towards workpiece side. Now as it is melting, we are keep moving in this direction, so this material will be deposited over here. Okay, so when you will see from the front view, then from the front view, it will looks like this is the plate one. Front view means this the view. Today, all the students are from civil engineering, so hope all of you are aware about the front view and top view. So when you will see the front view, Okay, so this will be looks like this. Okay, and the material which is deposited will be looks like this. Okay, so this is basically the we call it as a weld zone. Okay, and this is basically the upper section which is joined over here, which is deposited over here. We call this as a weld bead. Okay, and also sometimes we call it as a penetration, weld penetration. Okay, so no need to worry, that we will discuss that into detail. So this is basically the welding processes. Now here I talk about the consumable electrode. This is what kind of electrode? Consumable electrode. Consumable means at the end you will not you will not get this electrode again. Whatever the material that you have used, that will be completely deposited over the workpiece surface and you will not get it back. Okay, but there are non-consumable electrode as well. Okay, so if I, for example, like if I talk about tungsten, then tungsten is a kind of electrode which is non-consumable because it has a very high temperature. Okay, so the welding processes which are based on like whether it is a consumable or non-consumable, and like whether it is a melting or not melting, means the melting occurs, or without melting only the material can be joined. So without, if it is a without melting, then we are calling it as a solid state welding. Reason is, if there is no melting, then what is happening? Okay, means how the material will be deposited. So there are different types of the processes, like simply I'm just writing over here, that is there are simply like shielded metal arc welding, SMAW is there, that is we call it as a shielded metal arc welding. This is a basically simply what I briefed you just now. So this is based on a consumable electrode. This is based on the consumable electrode. Okay, next is like there are MIG welding is there, that is metal inert gas. There is a we also call it as a GMAW, that is gas metal arc welding. Okay, there is TIG welding is there, that is tungsten inert gas welding. We, in other words, we can call it as a GTAW, that is gas tungsten arc welding. Apart from that, these are fusion welding processes. Some of the fusion, like submerged arc welding process is also there. Okay, so these are fusion welding process. If we are talking about the solid state, then friction welding is a process, like because of the friction only the material is material can be joined. Then recently new added process, that is FSW, that is friction stir welding, you can add into that. Okay, so these are some category. Resistance welding you can add into that. Okay, there are different category of the resistance welding of like spot welding, continuous welding, seam welding, projection welding. These we will study into that. Okay, so and apart from these also, like this facility like SMAW is available to us, MIG is available to us, TIG is available, and resistant welding in sport, that is available to us. So like as I said that I created this I proposed this course that students, those who will join, he can or she can go for a practical purpose, so that in the future also, like there is upcoming in the future, like if there will be a multidisciplinary means a student should be created, like teachers should be like he or she can like research or work in multidisciplinary courses. Okay, so that's why, like you are from civil engineering but you are studying the manufacturing, you are from MBA but you are studying the manufacturing. So it will be give you a diversified way. Okay, so you can think in a different directions as well. Okay guys, so these are the facilities that is available to us, and hopefully whenever the like universities start offline, that time we'll brief you about in what the actual machines we have. Okay, so these are the welding processes. Let's move to the next one. Next is the machining processes. So machining processes are like there are different types of the machining operations. Like what is the difference between machining and the manufacturing? Now here I can brief you that manufacturing processes are all, like casting is a manufacturing process because we are manufacturing something from that. Welding is a manufacturing process because also we are like joining two parts, so that is also manufacturing. Machining process is a little bit different. Machining process is like whatever the like shape is created. For an example, this shape is created by casting. Okay, but for an example, whatever the shape and size of this is, this is not as per the requirement, because there is some limitations by the casting, because where you will fill the molten material, okay, and how you will fill, and how you will make the, when there is a possibility to make a complex shapes, as well as the hollow cavities, hollow shapes we have to create. So hollow part we have to create. So how we can make that? Okay, so we are, there is some constraint in the casting, that's why we are using the other processes. So for an example, I'm just manufacturing this rubber, okay, and once I will cast it, okay, after that I have just checked the dimensions, okay, and I'm finding that there is some extra dimensions is there, okay, means it is not as per the requirement, okay. So what I have to do, I have to remove the material. And how we will remove the material, that there are different types of the machining operations are available. So for, we are using that one, and we are removing the material. So by using these machining operations only, we are calling it as a machining processes, okay. So there are different types of the machining operations. So like just simply if I say, that is a lathe machine, okay, shaper, milling, grinding. The best one that every one of you are aware about, that is drilling. Okay, these are some of the these are the main, basically these are the main sorry, main machining operations. Now what types there are, like whenever you will study, apart from what subject we are going to discuss, you will study that there are different types of the operations are available. So this is nothing but, you just change the tool and use on these any one of machine, and you can invent your own process, that this is my process, okay. So you can use any tools, whatever the tools are available, whether it's a single point cutting tool, multi point cutting tool. So you can just use that tools on these machines, and you can say that, okay, this is the process that is I have invented. You just name it as per your name, or whatever the name that you want to suggest. So that can also be done. So, but basic thing is what, in these processes, when you talk about the lathe machine, shaper machine, milling machine, grinding, or the drilling machine, or any one of, or apart from these, all in all the machining processes, the material is removed from the workpiece area. Okay, material is removed from the workpiece area. So now, first of all, we will start with the very basic terminology. With the basic terminology. Okay, basic terminology includes about what are the terms that we are using, that is material, or we can say in other terms, that is workpiece that we are using, okay, and the tool that we are using through which the material is removed. And when the material is removing, we are calling it as a chip. Whatever the material is removed from the workpiece area, we are calling it as a chip, because that is if we are talking about the machining operations, then this material is removed in terms in a way like chip is flowing from the workpiece area. So these are the three, means that we will make the diagram of that, these three, and we will discuss the basic terminology part of the machining operations into that, okay. Apart from that, like the properties of these material that we are using, there are different types of the material: brittle material, ductile material, okay. So it will vary that what kind of tools we can use with respect to that, because in ductile the material removal will be different, in brittle it will be a different. And similarly for the chips, for these with respect to the material, okay. So that we will study into that machining operations, okay guys. So first we will study this basic part cover, and then we will go for a machining operations. But guys, as I said, that you are not a mechanical engineer. So, and I propose this course to whatever the students, those who are joining, I can just give them a basic idea. Okay, so for that, I will just brief you. I will just take you to the workshop, and I will brief you about these machines. Okay, so okay, guys. So let's move to the last one, which is the additive manufacturing. Okay, guys. So how the additive manufacturing is different from all the other these three: casting, welding, and the manufacturing machining processes. So additive manufacturing is like till now what we are doing is like, this is the duster I have. Okay. Just think about that. This is made up of some material, metal, we can say. Okay, not wood, metal. I'm saying. So this is like this yellow, this orange color shape is made up of some with some other material. Means no, sorry, this complete is made up of the same material, okay. So now what I have to do is, I have to remove this green area, means whatever the green thickness is there, I have to remove this one, okay, from this surface, from this cross sectional area. So how I will remove, I will just keep the tool over here, I will just keep the tool over here and I will move in this direction, so that will remove the material. But what is happening in the casting, welding and the machining? First of all, if I'm talking about the casting, because these are the requirements, these are the two which is basic need, and this is a requirement. Requirement is what, why it is a requirement? Like for an example, this is a casted okay, this is the casted material, and this much amount is like, initially we think about that, okay, there will be a, at the end there will be a final, this thickness will be 10 mm, but at the end when it is casted successfully, it will become 12 mm, and this green area is 2 mm. So what you have to do, you have to go for a machining operations. That's why it was a need, this is a requirement. Okay, so machining operations we have to, now we have to go for, because we have to remove this excessive amount of the material. Welding, if I'm talking about the welding, then as I said, the material, when you will deposit the material, these are the two plates, and when you will deposit the material, there will be a weld bead like this. Means this is inside the part of the tool or the material, we can say. Now but this is extra amount, so we have to remove it, because if for an example, if we have to move in from here to here in this direction, then there will be a jump in between, okay, there will be a breakage. So what we have to do, we have to remove this area throughout the cross section, throughout the length we have to remove this area. So we have to go for a machining operation. So that was a, this was a need to join the material, but this is a requirement to remove that extra amount of the material. So every time like casting and the welding we are doing, and after that we are going for a machining operation, because there is some, if there is an extra amount, then we have to go for, क्योंकि कम तो कर नहीं सकते। अगर आपने मान लीजिए कोई भी सैंपल है, उसके डायमेंशन ही आपने कम कर दी रिक्वायरमेंट, तो आप उसको बढ़ा नहीं सकते। लेकिन बढ़ा हुआ है अगर, if it is in large area, then you can reduce it as per requirement। okay, so machining, after casting and welding you have to go for. So now we have the additive manufacturing. What is the additive manufacturing is, this manufacturing is based on the CAD software. This is based on the CAD software. Okay, now CAD is basically the computer aided drafting or design, we can say. So there are different types of the softwares are available, like AutoCAD is there, SolidWorks is there, Creo is there, CATIA is there, Pro E is there. Okay, there are different types of the softwares are available. Fusion is there. So these are the softwares which are available, and on which basically we are just making 3D models. Whatever the complex shapes are there, or whether it's simple shape, we are just making that one, making that CAD model. Then we are converting that into the STL file, that is standard triangulated language. Okay, STL file format, we are just converting that, and then we are going for a 3D printing. We are going for a 3D printing. So this 3D printing is nothing but a fusion deposition modeling, FDM process. Don't worry guys, I will discuss that into detail. Okay, so that is a FDM process, that is a fuse deposition modeling. Now what is this 3D printing? 3D printing is like nothing but, like for an example, like I want to print these things. Okay, these are some of the things which is I want to print. So this is a 2D print. How it is 2D? That this is everything, whatever you have written into the Word or the PDF, you just took the printout and you just take a printout on that 2D page. This is a plane. This is a complete. It's a plane, and this is X direction, and you can say this is a Y direction. So whatever the printed, that is 2D. But what will happen that when this is X direction, this is Y direction, now perpendicular to the plane in this direction, if you are start printing something in this direction, then this will be a model. Okay, this will be a model, so we call it as a 3D printing. Okay, so this is three-dimensional printing, it means three-dimensional printing. Okay, so that is a 3D printing. Okay guys, so that we will discuss into detail. And as we like have the facility of SolidWorks into our lab, and we have the 3D printer as well, one of the 3D printer which is based on the FDM technology. So like I will teach you guys, I will take some classes on the kit, so that you should learn something if you have joined this subject. So I will take some of the classes of you on the SolidWorks, and then I will teach you if we'll get the time, then for everyone I will, you should make some of the models so that will be printed on the 3D printer. Or like if you'll not have the time, but so I will show you that how uh, this basically this 3D printer will be work. Okay, and now is this is content part is over, so I just want to brief that I proposed this subject because I was thinking like any student who will join, at the end he or she will learn about the basic manufacturing processes, so that in future nowadays like it's not, if you want to be a successful in your life, then it should not be like you have a knowledge of particular one stream only. You have to diversify your knowledge. And how you can diversify it, that you can join different, apart from your branch you should join different courses. Okay, so that's why I thought that okay, we have the facilities, so let's use these facilities to the students. Okay, so any students who will join these courses, he or she will work on the casting, he or she will work on the welding processes, machining processes, and the additive manufacturing processes. So that was my main motto. But is right now the classes is online, so I will just take the theory part. Okay, and whatever the, if I will get the time, like it is especially on the Saturday only, but whenever I will get the time or offline, university will start offline mode. Then we have a slot for the open elective. So that time basically I can discuss with the workshop members, and we can accommodate some few classes into that. Okay, into workshop, so that you will get a clear picture that what you are going to study. Okay, or what why you are studying these things. Okay, so and one more thing is like guys. This is the is you will see the name that is fundamental of manufacturing processes. It's not fundamental of manufacturing sciences. So sciences means science means it includes the very basic, which is related with the material specific. Okay, whenever we are talking about any atmosphere which has been like material has changed, so the bonding everything has been changed, atmospheric has been changed. So here I'm not talking about the sciences, I am talking about the manufacturing processes which is available to us. So I will just brief you. I will just take a brief whatever that I have discussed the syllabus part with you. We will discuss it one by one. Okay, and I will not go into that much detail when we are discussing. Like I have taught us. 3 4 times I have taught this machining process to my students, mechanical engineering students. So I to complete whatever the problems that has been asked previously in gate or engineering services or administrative services examination, that I'm taking into consideration while taking the class. But is you are just you just want to learn these things, so that's why I will not take that into consideration. Okay, so I will just take the basics of all the things. Okay guys, so let's guys, till now if you have any doubt you can ask me. Okay, and then we will go to the basic first unit. So let's go to the first unit. Okay, guys. So now you have to speak. Okay, you can just unmute yourself, and when I will ask you that, that time you can just speak. Okay, you can unmute yourself. So, guys, there are three things that I'm going to discuss with you in this one, and that on the basis of that we will define something. Okay. So first is the natural resources. The natural resources. I'm representing here it with the NR. Okay. Then then the human effort. HE I'm representing human effort. Then it's tools. Okay. So first of all, guys, tell me that what are the natural resources? You can just unmute yourself, or if you do not want to unmute, you can just write in the chat box. What are the natural resources which is available to us? Guys, if you have just started your phone and kept it somewhere, so I will get an idea like this. So Fahad, are you there? Wood, right? Very good. Apart from this is just one, Ifra. without any action of humankind, right? Very good. Materials occurring in nature, right? Very good. Okay, guys. So material occurring. Okay, guys. So good. Natural resources which are available anything in the nature. Okay, or it can be like anything. Like as I said, as you said that wood is an example which is like available in the nature. Okay, uh, can I say air is available in the nature. Okay, can I say water? Water is freely available in the nature. Okay, apart from this, coal minerals, yeah, very good. Coal minerals, water, air, land, coal minerals, very good, Ifra. Coal minerals, we can say. Uh, Apart from this, other any minerals or plants, we can say plants, simple like if I'm talking about the woods, then there are different types of the plants and animals are there. So that is natural resources. So these are basically the natural resources. But like if you will use it like if you are using the wood. Okay, so if how we can use the wood. Okay, we can use the wood like we can it is available, so whenever there is a cold we can use it for the fire purpose. Okay, like for the fighting purpose, as well as like when there was just the human age was started. That time the people, those people who were there that time, they just started learning something. Learning something means when you will create a friction between two stones, then there will be a arc is generated. They were burning this coal, this woods, okay, by using that spark. Okay, so that time they learned that okay, wood can be utilized for the burning purpose. Okay, now water like if I'm talking about if we are using this wood, or especially like coal we are talking about, like coal is can also be like wood is what like which is simply nowadays it is available like in the open air. Okay, we can say open environment. And coal is what like we are assuming that very long back. Okay, very long back, the whatever there was like thunderstorms, so that or whatever the woods that has been deposited inside the land. Okay, so they will become a coal. Okay, that's why only they can burn, otherwise how you can burn a stone. Okay, so coals are there, that basically. Okay, so what we are doing, we are just producing that one. Okay, and we are burning them. So now we are using this coal especially in the power plants, especially in the power plants. Okay, so and we are using this coal for the burning purpose. Okay, and by using this, by burning the coal, we are burning the water. Basically we are using that heat to boil the water. Now by the water which is reaching at very high temperature, which is it's 100 degrees centigrade, and it is making the steam. Okay, now we are using that steam to produce, to run the turbine, and that turbine is connected with the generator, electric generator, and that is basically producing the electricity. Okay, so there are different types of the things which is available in the nature. Okay, but indirectly means directly or indirectly we are using them, and we are using as per the requirements, that what is our need, what is our requirement. Whatever the things that we are taking from the nature, it doesn't mean that these things were not available 2000 year back. Okay, it's not like that. These things were available at that time as well, but the as the science and the technologies increases, so that's why only we are using it, these resources, natural resources, as per the requirements, whatever the shape and size, or whatever our requirements is there. Okay, so that's why we are creating these things. Refrigerator nowadays is available, the ACs are available, coolers are available, heating purpose there are number of devices are available. Okay, we are using the woods for making these windows. Okay, for the wardrobes, or for the like doors. Okay, and glass we are using for the window purpose, for making tables. There are different things are available. Okay, What is the purpose is, I just want to brief you about the natural resources, that these are the natural resources, but without human efforts, without human effort you cannot utilize that. How a human can be effort? First of all, like, if I'm talking about the science and technology, that is an invention of the human. Okay, that is the invent, that is whatever the laws are there, that is invented by a human only, and that is implemented, that is also done by the human only. Okay, so that time when we are talking about the principal part of the science and technology, that time scientists or the professors or the human being are working from the mind. Okay, they are using their mind, that how we can convert these natural resources into the requirements. Now when you will convert these resources into the requirements, that time you need a human effort again. How? Like for an example, I want to construct this house. Okay, so for this, like, I just want a labor. Okay, so I want this labor. So what they are doing, the architecture or the civil engineer, they are basically giving you a design of that. Okay, this is that type of house we can construct. Okay, these are like, there are 5 6 rooms are there on the ground floor. There will be a top floor if you want to create. If we are talking about the houses that is generally made in the Kashmir region, then we are giving these kind of shades on the top. So how we can make it beautiful? Okay, so who is doing this? Either it is a civil engineer or architecture. But civil engineer and architecture, they are not building the house. Building is done by the labor. So here, if I'm talking about the human effort, then mental work is done by the civil engineer or architect, and the physical effort, that is done by the labor. Okay, so human effort can be divided into two categories. First is like mental effort, and physical effort. Physical efforts. Okay, so these are the two efforts only that can be done by the human being. Okay, like, now whatever the things, like, when you will think about, whenever you invent something by using your mind, that come into the mental category, or like, any work that is done by you from moving one place to another place, that will be counted in the physical effort. So these are the two types. Okay, now when we are talking about the tools, then, like, we are using the chemicals. Okay, and we have tools, means what are the resources that is we have created by using the natural resources or by using the human efforts. Okay, so like, if I'm talking about the coal and the water, then we have created the power plant. We have created the power plants. If we are talking about the chemicals, and that is basically manufacturing the clothes. Okay, so that time we can say it is a chemical plant. Like, medicines, chemicals we are using, and we are just making into the solid some specific formulas we are using, and we are making something. So the medical equipments or medical industries, like we can say, or like vaccine plant, or like any things which that we have created. So there are number of things basically we have created. So all the things which is we are directly using now, these are the natural resources which we are using indirectly, and these are the tools or the plants which we are using directly. Means, how this, from this power plant, the electricity is directly coming to our house. Basically, it is first, it is going to the distribution point, then it is coming to our houses. So that is basically a direct use of this power plant. Okay, but indirect use of this natural resources. So how we can define a relationship between these three? So there is a term, that is men's material welfare. Guys, this is very very important. Men's material welfare, and in short we write it as a mmw. Okay, and this men's material will be defined as natural resources into human efforts raised to tools. This is the formula, guys, please remember this one. Okay, means whatever the, now what is this men's material welfare is, I'm just taking a standard definition of that, and I'm briefing you along with that. So first I'm reading that one, then I will brief you about that. Okay, so the progress and the prosperity of human civilization. Here, first, these four words are in connected. The progress and the prosperity of human civilization is governed and judged mainly by improvement and maintenance of standard of living through the availability or production of quality goods and service of men's material welfare. Okay, now what is the meaning is the progress and prosperity of human civilization. That if we are talking about the human civilization, then how we can define the progress and our prosperity, that we are very happy and we are progressing in our life. Okay, day to day life we are inventing something and we are learning and we are adopting them. Okay, so how this progress will be defined? Okay, the progress and the prosperity of human civilization is governed and judged, that is defined by improvement and maintenance of standard of living. That day by day, in the beginning, like when there were no clothes, when there were no food, the human being were invented something, the ark, then they were firing the wood, then they were eating the food which is खाना पका हुआ जो खाना होता है, that before that they were like just eating fruits and all these things. Okay, and they were like uh, कच्चा ही खा जाते थे like that. Okay, so that was not like boiled or roasted kind, we can say. So that is now, it is not the situation right now. We have all the electric appliances. Okay, so through which whatever the food that we want to make as per our requirement we can. Okay, so that is the improvement, that is judged by the improvement and the maintenance of standard of living through availability or the production. Availability means whatever the things that you want to like you have. Okay, for an example, like I am feeling very hot. Okay, so I just want to create that there will be a room temperature that will be around 25 to 30 degrees centigrade. So people scientists invented the ACs. Okay, so if it is available then it is fine, but if it is not available then you should invent it. You should, or production of quality goods means you should invent it. Okay, and you should also learn the service of that, because this is very means this is an important factor. Nowadays AC is created, AC is selling by the companies, but the service provider is not available. Fridge is available, TV is available, everything is available, all the technologies is available to us, but the service provider is not available. So we, on behalf of using, means we are just inventing something, we are producing something, but along with that we have to focus on the service as well. Okay, so this is basically the definition of men's material welfare. Now I'm again going to brief you that the progress and prosperity of human civilization is governed and judged mainly by improvement and the maintenance of standard of living. Okay, this term is very important. Important and improvement and maintenance of standard of living through the availability or production of quality goods and the service for men's material welfare. Okay guys, so this is very important. So if you have any doubt in this one, then you can ask me. I'm giving you 1 minute guys. Okay, then we'll go to the next topic, that will be the last topic for today. Okay guys, so okay, somebody has, so repeat formula of men's material welfare. Musharraf, this is the formula for the men's material welfare. That is the natural resources. That what are the natural resources are available to us, but we cannot use it without the human efforts. Okay, so whatever the human effort that is that plants is created, or the tools that is created. Here the tools means uh, the resources which we are using directly. Okay, here the tool is the resources that we are using, the resources uh, which is utilized directly. Okay, like power plant is there. So power plant, we are directly using that electricity. For an example, if I talk about the cements, okay, then cement is basically, if you are talking about a cement, then there are different types. While constructing, we are using the cement. So There are different types of the like cement is basically crushed by these stones. Stones were basically the crushed, okay, and they are adding some minerals into them. Especially, they are also adding the clay, like clay which is produced by the power plant. So they are mixing it so that the quality or the quality of the bond or the what I can say, like in other words, the quality of bonding and the I can say like this is very fine, okay, very fine, so smooth, okay. So to make a smooth, we are adding that clay into that cement. So cement is like we are directly using the cement, okay. Cement plant we have created. So this cement plant which is directly producing the cements for us. So that is basically the tool. Now we are wearing these clothes. So these are coming from the chemical industries, okay. By the way, these sellers are just selling it, but we are getting it from the chemical industry. So directly we are using it from there, okay. So that is a tool. For that to manufacture or production, we are using this human efforts. It is not like that कि मान लीजिए कि एक पावर प्लांट हमने बना दिया है तो वो अपने आप चलता रहेगा, ऐसा नहीं है. For that also you need the human effort, right? If there will be any fault, for that you need an engineer. If like by the way, अगर कोई fault नहीं है, once you have आपने create कर दिया है, पावर प्लांट सेटअप कर दिया, then it will work. So for that you just need a small labors, okay. So and some of the labors is needed, like just to flow one thing from one part to another side, okay, from one side to another side. For that you need the labor, okay. So human effort is needed till that. So that's why we are using this natural resources which is available in the nature, but we cannot directly use it. Means we can use it indirectly, but we cannot directly use it. So for that we are using mental effort as well as physical effort. We are manufacturing or we are producing that one, and then we are using directly to that, okay. So this is the men's material welfare, mmw, that will be defined as NR, that is natural resources, into human efforts raised to tools. This is basically the power of human efforts, okay. This is the human efforts. This is the standard formula, okay.